Okay, this is Larry Jones. This is part 2 of the IPO of Snowflake. Ticker symbol SNOW, S-N-O-W, right? It was a crazy day for this IPO. It was the most expensive IPO ever. Just the fact that you had two main institutions, Salesforce, which is a cloud-based company, is integrating with Snowflake, and they made it an easy integration. It's one of those things where if you can't beat them, join them. So I just thought that they thought that, hey, we can't stop these guys. They're going to be big. We need to get in, right? So you take a company like a company like Salesforce to invest in Snowflake is really big, right? When you got big people, big institutions investing in other institutions, they see stuff that we don't see, believe me. Then you got Berkshire Hathaway, the Oracle himself, who will tell you he doesn't understand technology. Warren Buffett, he'll be the first to tell you he does not understand technology, right? But of course, he has a staff, and he was probably consulted with people that do understand it, that there's money to be made and you need to be investing in it. And that's what they did. So they had bought millions of shares and invested millions of dollars pre-IPO, right? And so I'm going to just show you what I did. I did something I tell you guys not to do. And I tell you how dangerous it is in my first video. So there's a link below. I want you to watch it. So it just sat all morning. It just sat because the numbers kept running up of all the hype, right? Because you got these two main institutions that's investing in this company. And the hype just kept running it up pre-IPO. So they couldn't even go to public before they had a price. So the market will price in where the stock needs to be, right? And then, to be honest with you, the first few hours is really a guess game. So if you looked at the minute-to-minute chart, it was running up and down, running up and down, running up and down. And so what I did was I did something that I tell you never to do. I always say, never do this. But I did this to prove a point for you. So I took the hit for you. You're welcome. I'll take a bullet for you, girl. But I took the hit for you. All right, I got you, bro. So I took the hit for you guys. I did, brace yourself, a market order. And you guessed it. When I did the market order, it took like 20 minutes for it to fill. Because people like you and I, we can't buy they're going to make sure the big institutions that's buying blocks of shares, that they're satisfied first. So people like you and I can't get in. And then we're held hostage, and this stock just runs up and it runs up and it runs up, right? And so I did a market order of 2 shares, and I'll show you guys where it popped at. And I'm showing you guys why it's not a good idea to do this. It's never. I always do a limit order, right? Always a limit order. But I did. And I'm going to show you guys how they got me. All right. So when it opened up, they always tell you, oh, it opened up at 120. Not for you and I, it didn't. For the big whales, it did. For the buying institutions, they did. The hedge fund managers and all of these financial institutions, it opened up for them. But by the time that you and I can actually start trading, it was at $283. And towards the end of this, I'm going to show you where my buy-in was doing a market order, right? I later tried to do a limit order, but it didn't hit my limit price. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some information I don't think no one else is really making a comparison to. And there's a reason why. I compare this to Facebook. Facebook IPO'd very low. I don't remember where Facebook IPO'd, but it was very, very low, right? And it IPO'd very low, and then it ran up high, and then it dropped, right? So it ran up high. So you and I couldn't get in where it IPO'd, but then it ran up here. All the institutions ran it up. Then now you could buy, and then it dropped way down beneath your purchase price. But over the years, it ran like a bull. And so here's what I tell you guys about Snowflake. Snowflake is a buy, and it's a long-term high growth stock, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there right now and show you guys where it purchased at. Take a look at this. Yep. $300. Womp, womp, womp. Yep, $300. That's where they got me for 2 shares. Remember, look at the first video. I tell you guys, never do a market order, especially on an IPO. Always do a limit order. But that's where it got me. So let's look at this chart here. So it ran up. It shows here 293, but they get me for 300. What's up with that, stock market? All right. So then, I don't have my glasses on, that's why I'm squinting. So then it goes down to 235. So if you got friends saying, oh, I got it for 200, they lying. All right. And then of course it closed out at 253, and aftermarket, it's right now is at 255, but the aftermarket trading is still going on, right? So Snowflake, let me see if I can pull up Facebook. I don't have it on my watch list anymore since I sold it, right? Let's look at this, Facebook. All right. So Facebook, as you can see, it's tanking. But I do remember when Facebook first came to market, it was really cheap. It was, how many years ago was that? It was really cheap. So here it shows about $27. I think it was like $25, right? So Facebook was at $25 when it IPO'd in May of 2012. Right now it's at $263. So that's what I mean about high growth long term. So you know what? Long term investing, it's no sexy. It's no sexy. It's no sexy, right? It's not sexy to us, right? Because we want that quick pop all of the time. But I can tell you now that you should invest, do swing trades, quick pops, get your money out in a couple of weeks, months. But you should also do long-term investment. You should have both strategies because you want to retire your job. You don't want them to retire you. You want to be able to look at them and go, deuces, I'm out. I got 2 million in the bank. That's long-term investments. Okay. So you guys want to trade and you want to invest. You want to do both of them. But I will tell you, I'm comparing this stock to Facebook because it's got the same attributes if you really look at it. It's something that nobody fully understands. I mean, they have customers and their customer base are big corporations, like they're huge corporations and they're handling their data. So for those of you who don't know, Snowflake is a cloud-based storage. And so what they're doing is, you know, I'm a DeVry grad and you know, they're just like underground. There's just blocks and blocks and blocks of computers that are talking to each other, that's storing all of this information, numbers you couldn't even imagine that they have to calculate. Now you have it stored in the cloud, right? You have cloud base. And so now all of these blocks and blocks of computers now are gone. But Snowflake is so advanced in this space. Think about it. They're so advanced in this space to Berkshire Hathaway thought, hey, let me dump millions of dollars into this deal, hundreds of millions. And then Salesforce do the same thing and they're in this space. That's something really big. And so I'm going to give this stock a thumbs up for high growth. I will tell you now, just like Facebook, I want you all to go to Facebook, go to their IPO, look at what it did, where it opened up at, how it ran up, how it ran down lower than where it IPO'd, and then look what it has done since 2012. Look at that. Look at what it's done since it ran. And so I want to tell you guys that there is money to be made with this stock. I would look for any dip this week to get in. And let's not be greedy. I don't care about the dip. Get in. And not only should you get in now, this is one of those stocks that's like Apple, or Tesla, where down the road, you just keep adding to your positions. It doesn't matter a downward market or upward market, because data shows that when you continue to buy more shares of a high growth, long-term stock, it doesn't matter. You always come out ahead with your gains. I'm going to do a video about that later on called $1 Million Cup of Coffee. And I'm telling you, it's mind blowing. So those of you that are not subscribed, you want to subscribe now. I'm telling you, that's going to be a life changing video. But as for Snowflake, I'm giving this a yes, thumbs up. It is going to be a high growth, long-term stock. You can take this video and save it and look at it 3, 6, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 months from now. You're going to be saying, I wish I would have listened, right? Yeah, it's pricey. I know. I was mad. If you look at where it's supposed to, at first they were talking about $75. Then it went from $75 to $85. And then you and I, the first, shot you can get, if you did a market order like I did, I took the bullet for you guys, $300, right? The market will correct it. I don't care if it's overinflated. The market will correct the IPO and tell it where it should be. It always does, right? So I want you guys to remember, look at the first video where I tell you, I wanted to do a 2-part because I wanted to tell you guys what I thought about the company before it IPO'd. I wanted to tell you about what I would do before the IPO. Now the IPO is over. It was so much volatility until the market, the trading froze for a while. It was that much volatility in this stock. So you guys will be hearing more about it, but I would say it's time to get in, okay? Because you're going to make some long-term money on this stock. Hey, take that finger and give that like button the finger. Subscribe. Those of you, listen, I notice in my data that I'm like 90% men watching me. Ladies, what's up? Ladies, look at me. Look at me. Hey, girl. I'm just joking. But listen, we need more women. I don't care if you're looking at this page. We need more women. There's so many single moms out there. For you guys, turn your wives and your girlfriends onto this. Get them savvy. Get them smart like you. Get them making money, because we, the common man, which I love about the Stock Up fam, all of you guys that are correcting me on my diction. I'm going to do some shout outs later, but I love you guys. But hey, let's all make money, because there's a shifting going on and we want to position ourselves. There is a scripture in the good book that says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. All right. So let's get that money, fam. Love you. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.